Welcome back to another edition of Bible Bears. We are talking about two acts of crime today. One, a daylight attempted rape in Manhattan on the east side, and a public beatdown at a gas station in Los Angeles. I'm Ryder Cullison. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and if you like this video, give me a thumbs up. June 7th, Manhattan, east side, 7 o'clock in the morning. This isn't the crack of dawn. I'm actually in the car on the way to work at 7 o'clock in the morning. New York is bustling. It's busy. People are up, moving around. A man has the brazen, wanton recklessness to try to attempt to rape a woman in broad daylight in the city. The woman was 27 years old. Man walks up, grabs her by the throat, shoves her against a wall, and then starts to pull down his pants. She fights him off. He takes off running. And the cops are, of course, looking for him. We've got cameras everywhere. Maybe someone will step up and identify this guy. What is going on in the city now where criminals are so arrogant and so confident that they can get away with crimes that they do it now in broad daylight when people are up and moving around? This is 7 a.m. in New York City is a busy time of day. It's a busy time of day pretty much any time. But the sun is up, criminals are out, engaging in criminal activity right in front of people when the sun is shining. What is happening? Take a look at this guy in Los Angeles. Woman is just pumping her gas. Guy gets out, pulls up, blocks her car, but he doesn't really block it. He's just pulling in, looks like he's getting gas, gets out. He's got his shirt off, just strolls around to her car, and then bam, 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 just starts beating the mess out of her. She disappears from view, but you can clearly see he is just wailing on her. And apparently at one point, he grabs her by the hair, slams her against the car, slams her face into the pavement. Some people finally have the courage to walk up. Nobody attacks him. I don't know what they're saying to him, but he doesn't seem too concerned about it. And then he just turns around and calmly strolls back to his vehicle and drives away. Now this guy has since been arrested, but they also think he's been engaged in other, spontaneous attacks. Just walking up to people, punching them in the face through the windows, and then calmly just strolling away. Why is all this going on? Well, let me read this verse to you. But know this, in the last days grievous times shall come. For men shall be lovers of self, lovers of money, boastful, haughty, railers, disobedient to parents, unthankful, unholy, without natural affection, implacable, slanderers, without self-control, fierce, no lovers of good. So nobody is loving good. Traitors, headstrong, puffed up lovers of pleasure rather than lovers of God, having a form of godliness, but denying its power. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, hey, that could apply to any time in history. And you're right, that could apply to any time in history because man's heart has remained unchanged since the fall. Basically, what I'm saying to you is, at any point in history, you could apply what I just said: lovers of self, haughty, haters of anything good, slanderers, disobedient, headstrong, puffed up, whatever. All of those things, all of the above, apply to man today. And that's the problem. As we defund the police, as we remove police from the streets, we become vulnerable to people who will just walk up to us, punch us, beat us, slam our head into the pavement. People so brazen, so wanton, so puffed up that they will grab a woman in broad daylight on the street and try to sexually assault her. These are the times that we are in. These are the times we have always been in, but we need people on the streets to protect us. Now, Some people in the media will say, well, that's not the whole reason crime has skyrocketed. And crime has skyrocketed. Homicides are up 33% across the board this year. And that's up from, in some cities like Chicago, that's up 33% from record numbers last year. And they had record numbers the year before. So crime is skyrocketing in some areas. And people are going to say, well, maybe it's COVID. Maybe it's some poverty due to homelessness. Maybe it's really none of these things. Well, I can tell you, if there were more police on the streets, guys wouldn't just be walking up and handing out beatdowns or trying to rape women in broad daylight. Now, in many places of the city, you might see no skateboarding signs, no rollerblading signs. But now, I guess we have to put up no raping signs. Maybe then people will know not to rape women in broad daylight at any time of day. Okay? This is a rape-free zone. This is a drug-free zone. This is a murder-free zone. Do we have to really put up those signs? No, everybody knows that, but people still do it. So we need police on the street. Now, what you're saying is, well, we want to get rid of the police and we want communities to police. Well, how are communities going to police rapists and people wielding knives and people with guns? Oh, we'll arm the community. Well, how do we know that? How do we distinguish the community members with guns from the criminals with guns? Oh, we'll give the community members uniforms. Okay, well, are they really going to go out and risk their lives and stop drug dealers and rapists and arsonists and gang members for free? Just for volunteer? Hey, I'm part of Little League. It's hard enough to get a guy to go up there and umpire a game for free. So what are we going to do? Oh, maybe we'll pay the community members after giving them uniforms and arming them. Guess what? You've just established a new police force. And once this new community of loving, supportive people with weapons, okay, and uniforms starts getting spit on and defecated on and insulted and yelled at and shot at, they're going to become every bit like the police force we have today. The same people who go out day after day, risking their lives and their sanity and their mental health, right? Let's have a talk. If we're going to talk about Naomi Osaka withdrawing from the French Open and her mental health, let's talk about the mental health of police officers, because I guarantee you they have to deal with more than talking to the press. Guys, what do you think? Why is crime skyrocketing? I think basically it's a lack of police officers and a lack of God in our lives. But what say you? I'd love to hear from you. Put it in the comments below. And as always, if you like this video, thumbs up, subscribe, and share. Guys, I love you. And have a blessed week.